Good evening and welcome to News Channel 8. I'm Jerome Aegean, and here's what's happening in our territory. Our Virgin Islands governor held a press conference earlier today. On top of the agenda is the overhaul of the penal system. News Channel 8's Lee Carl files this report.
Well, Governor John DeYoung at his press conference today introduced the Attorney General, Vincent Fraser, who then introduced the new deputy chief as well as the director of the Bureau of Corrections. You heard from the states. They've had experience along the lines, and we got a chance to hear a little bit about that. First, here's the statement by the governor.
As we all know, our correctional system is both in a period of transition and of crisis. It is in transition from its present status as part of the Department of Justice to an administratively independent agency, a change that is scheduled to be completed October 1, 2009, with the commencement of fiscal year 2010. It is also true that our correctional system is in a state of crisis, the inevitable result of past neglect, mismanagement, insufficient resources, and quite frankly now, severe personnel issues, and unsustainable overcrowding caused by the arrest and conviction of those who have brought the plague of criminality upon our territory that we fight every day. Indeed, the Bureau of Corrections has been under a judicial consent decree for more than 2 decades. The Attorney General and those employees at Justice and Corrections have not had the choice of working on the transition free of handling the crisis, but have had to deal with both. And I will confirm today that upon the recommendation of the Attorney General, we transferred 98 prisoners to stateside facilities beginning on September 27th. And second, that this is purely an executive function that cannot be trumpeted in advance of such action. This transfer was done as the first step towards making the task that will confront our new director and deputy director of the Bureau of Corrections more manageable.
The Attorney General made it quite clear why they're moving this way. He also filled us in on the information regarding the removal of prisoners to the stateside prisons.
In an effort to further strengthen the security and control at Golden Grove Correctional Facility on St. Croix, as the governor indicated, on Saturday, September 27th, the Bureau transferred those 98 inmates to Virginia Department of Corrections. The inmates transferred consisted of 93 male inmates and 5 females. 46 of those inmates were transferred to Wallens Ridge State Prison in Wise County, Virginia. 47 inmates were transferred to Keene Mountain Correctional Center in Buchanan County, Virginia. The 5 females were transferred to Fluvanna Correctional Center in Fluvanna County, Virginia. The recent transfer of the inmates from Golden Grove to these facilities has significantly minimized the population of our deteriorating facility. We brought the figures from 348 inmates to 250 inmates. The substantial reduction in the number of inmates who require constant control and supervision has allowed us to eliminate a number of the posts that were previously manned, while we simultaneously reduce the need for some of our overtime. By decreasing the population at Golden Grove, we have also removed the poisonous enclave of criminal activity that was not only spreading throughout the prison, but also posing security risks.
And of course, the new director got a chance to at least give us some idea on how he's thinking as he goes to take this job on.
I'd like to thank the Governor DeYoung and Attorney General Fraser for giving me the opportunity to lead the Virgin Islands Bureau of Corrections further into the 21st century. The Bureau Assistant Director Herman and I, we face many challenges, but they are not insurmountable. I firmly believe that there is a need for training and reinforcement of the Bureau of Corrections rules and regulations and a new sense of accountability. Everyone needs to work for a common goal that is driven by the agency's mission, fair, firm, and consistent treatment of prisoners and detainees will be the Bureau's new motto.
In St. Thomas, Lee Carl for News Channel 8.
In other news, police are still looking for 28-year-old Derek Fredericks. He's still on the loose after breaking out of Golden Grove Prison. He's 5 foot 11 inches tall and weighs about 160 pounds. There is a $10,000 reward for his capture of the escaped prisoner. If you see him, call 778-2211 or 911. Meanwhile, News Channel 8's Wes Small has some information on a captured escapee and a man who could be facing murder charges soon for the beating death of his own mother. News Channel 8's Wes Small has the story.
Today we're at Superior Court, where we heard at least two interesting cases. One, let's get right to it. He's 42-year-old Herbert Clairsont, the man who allegedly did the unspeakable, beat his own mother. 65-year-old Eucharist Clairsont, back in June. Now, Miss Clairsont has now since died. That's why the people, the prosecutors, are considering moving charges up against Herbert. Herbert was in court earlier today. The prosecutor on the case is Cornelius Evans, but Cornelius Evans was sick today, so standing in was attorney Tanya Safir and Joseph Pontine. They represent the Attorney General's office. Now today, Herbert Clairsont was in court. He seemed calm, kind of just nonchalant inside the court. And now we find out that after they investigate his mother's injuries, and they do indeed find out that she passed away due to those injuries, then Herbert Clairsont's charges will be moved up to murder 2, murder in the 2nd degree. And again, we're waiting for hospital updates. That's coming from the Attorney General's office. Meanwhile, Herbert Clairsont will be arraigned officially on October 8th. And that's when Cornelius Evans, he'll be back representing the people. He's out sick today. Another significant case that we're looking at is 33-year-old Carlos Burgos, one of the inmates that was captured after the Golden Grove escape. Remember, they're still on lockdown. You know that. Eduardo Carmona Jr., 19 years old, he was shot and killed by a special tactics squad shortly after the breakout. Carlos Burgos, however, has since caused 2 women to go to jail because of his escape. Remember that 30-year-old woman in Harvey? She has 4 children. She faces charges of aiding and abetting. And that 27-year police dispatcher, she definitely, the wife of Carlos Burgos, she faces 13 years in prison as well for helping Carlos. He was in court earlier today, and he will come back here October the 8th as well to be arraigned. So now you're caught up. All the doings here in Superior Court under Judge Donahue, Daryl Donahue, and these cases News Channel 8 were looking at earlier today. At Superior Court, I'm Wes Small for News Channel 8.